Have you ever felt like you're constantly carrying responsibilities and taking care of everyone, but when you need support, you realize you're alone? Society expects you to be resilient, to solve problems, to always be present. But who takes care of you? The truth is harsh but undeniable. If you don't prioritize yourself, no one else will. Time doesn't pause for your recovery, obligations don't disappear, and people continue with their routines. Expecting others to notice your needs and act on your behalf is a mistake. Stoicism teaches that the only thing we truly control is ourselves, and that includes how we preserve our energy, serenity, and well-being. Taking care of yourself is not selfishness, it's survival. If you don't set boundaries, the world will overwhelm you. If you don't establish limits, others will cross them. If you don't protect your mind, you'll be easily swayed by external opinions. The Stoics understood that self-care is not about luxury or indulgence. It's about discipline. Marcus Aurelius, as the leader of an empire, carried an enormous burden on his shoulders. Yet, he still dedicated time to reflect on his inner strength. He understood that if his mind was weak, everything else would collapse. You are no different. You must be the guardian of your energy, your choices, and your growth. By neglecting yourself, you hand over control of your life to others. Those who don't value themselves end up trapped in cycles of exhaustion, uncertainty, and frustration. But when you take control, when you decide that your peace, health, and time are a priority, your life transforms. You stop wasting time on things you can't change and focus on what truly matters, yourself. Now tell me, are you ready to take better care of yourself? Comment below, I will prioritize myself, because this commitment needs to be unshakable. Leave a like so this message reaches more people, subscribe to the channel to follow new videos, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Now, let's get into the video, because today you'll discover 11 timeless principles to finally put yourself first. 1. Your most important commitment is to yourself. Reflect on how many times you've made a promise to yourself and failed to keep it. How many times have you said you'd start exercising but postponed it? That you'd go to bed earlier but got stuck scrolling on social media? That you'd change your diet but gave in to the first excuse? Now think, if a friend did this repeatedly, would you still trust them? If someone scheduled a meeting and left you waiting multiple times without an explanation, would you continue relying on them? The problem is, when it comes to ourselves, we are the first to break our own commitments. But why does this happen? Because we believe no one is watching. Because we think there won't be consequences. But there are, and they are called a lack of self-respect. If you want to transform your life, if you want to be someone worthy of respect and in control of your reality, you must start by respecting the most essential person in your story, yourself. It doesn't matter what you want to achieve, better health, financial stability, mental peace, or more discipline. If you don't honor your word to yourself, any change will be temporary. Marcus Aurelius ruled a vast empire. Every day he made decisions that impacted millions of people. He faced battles, betrayals, and both internal and external challenges. Yet, he still set aside time to write in his journal about his conduct, mistakes, and need for growth. He didn't delegate his discipline to others. He took responsibility for improving himself daily. And you? Have you taken your commitment to growth seriously, or do you treat yourself as disposable, constantly postponing your dreams? Your first commitment is not to your boss, your family, or your friends. It's to you. If you say you'll do something, do it. If you promise to wake up early, get up. If you decide to dedicate yourself to a project, see it through to the end. Because every time you ignore your promises, you teach your mind to see you as weak, as someone untrustworthy. Think about it. Can a person who doesn't even follow through on their own decisions be taken seriously by others? Can someone who always talks about change but never acts be respected? No, and worse, that person doesn't respect themselves. Stoicism is not a distant theory. It's practice, it's determination, it's commitment, and it all starts now. Now moving on to lesson 2. You are your own guide. Life doesn't offer rescues. No one will appear to take you by the hand and lead you where you want to go. If there's one thing Stoicism makes clear, it's that only you have control over the course of your life. If you wait for someone to tell you what to do, for the perfect moment or for a magical solution, you'll be wasting precious time. What matters is now. Marcus Aurelius said, "What is within your control, that is what matters." Notice that he did not advise worrying about other people's injustices, luck, the past, or anything beyond your reach. He emphasized that the only thing we truly own is our ability to govern ourselves. Yet many people live as passengers in their own existence. They wait for fate to be kind, for someone to bring them answers, or for circumstances to change on their own. This illusion is dangerous. Every day spent waiting is a day unlived, because life rewards action, not hesitation. While some face uncertainty and freeze, others push forward despite their doubts. And guess who makes the most progress? True strength is not about having all the answers. It's about taking action despite the uncertainty. The protagonist of your story must be you. No master, book, or philosophy can replace your daily decision to take charge of what is within your control. This means stopping the habit of letting others dictate your choices. It means ending procrastination out of fear of failure. Most importantly, it means abandoning the childish illusion that someone will come to rescue you. The world doesn't work that way. It won't change because of your complaints. It won't change because you feel wronged. Reality moves forward, with or without you. If you want to build a meaningful life, you must stop being just an observer. Imagine a boat adrift in the ocean, without direction, without purpose, merely carried by the currents. This is how those who refuse to take charge of their own lives exist. External factors dictate their fate. Others' opinions, societal pressures, insecurities, and fears shape their decisions, turning them into captives of chance. Now, picture the opposite. A seasoned navigator firmly gripping the helm of his vessel, adjusting the sails to the winds, yet always keeping a destination in mind. He does not control the sea, but he commands his ship. He does not avoid storms, but he knows how to navigate through them. This is what it means to take control of your own path. Many shy away from this responsibility, believing it to be a burden, but the truth is, it brings freedom. When you understand that no one else can decide for you, that no one will fight your battles, you become liberated, free from the need for approval, free from the fear of failure, free from the emotional dependence on others' validation. Stoicism does not advocate isolation or disregard for human relationships. It teaches that we must be emotionally autonomous, acting not to seek external validation, but because it reflects our character. What distinguishes a fulfilled life from an empty one? Choice. Choosing what to accept, what to nurture in your mind, what to tolerate, and what to reject. If you do not define your choices, someone else will do it for you. If you do not set your limits, the world will cross them. Have you noticed how some people seem to have more time, more energy, more balance? They possess no special powers. They simply take ownership of their lives. They do not wake up waiting to see what the day will bring. They decide. Taking charge of your own life does not happen all at once. There is no epic moment of awakening from which you never regress. It is a daily decision, a continuous practice of remembering that no one bears more responsibility for your future than you do. Those who wait for directions follow whatever path is imposed upon them. If you do not take possession of your life, someone else will. The world is full of people who want to influence your thoughts, emotions, and actions. but that only happens to those who fail to take the reins of their own journey. No one can walk your path for you. No achievement will be genuine if it is based on others' expectations. No change will be lasting if it is made solely to impress. No growth will be authentic if it stems from the need for approval. True freedom arises when you realize that no one is coming to save you. This may seem daunting at first, but it is the first step toward an inner strength that few possess. The day you stop searching for a savior and start acting as your own leader is the day your life truly begins. The Stoics did not expect life to be easy. They did not wait for solutions to fall from the sky. They prepared themselves to face any circumstances. And you? Are you still waiting for someone to make decisions for you? Are you still hoping someone will tell you what to do? The only person capable of wisely guiding your life is the one you see in the mirror. If you want a different future, take control. Because in the end, you either govern your life or you are just a passenger carried by the winds of chance. The choice is yours, and it always has been. 3. Define your priorities, or the world will do it for you. Time waits for no one. With each sunrise, a new cycle begins, full of decisions to be made and paths to follow. However, most people fail to realize that if they do not set their own priorities, someone else will do it for them. And when that happens, the outcome is rarely in their favor. The world is chaotic, filled with external demands, distractions, and pressures trying to pull you in directions you may have never consciously chosen. If you do not decide what is essential in your life, you will become just another piece in someone else's game. Many believe they are in control of their destiny, but reality tells a different story. Too often, days are filled with imposed obligations, commitments accepted without reflection, and tasks that seem urgent but add little to personal growth. In the end, there is a lingering feeling that time has passed without anything truly meaningful being achieved. If we lack clarity in our priorities, our energy gets scattered. We are pulled in every direction, like a leaf in the wind, without direction, without mastery, without meaning. To the Stoics, the art of determining what deserves attention was not just about efficiency, but about integrity. For living without purpose is to waste the most valuable asset we have: time. Throughout history, great thinkers understood this truth. Those who achieved remarkable feats were not the ones who tried to do everything, but the ones who precisely chose where to focus their dedication. Success, in any field, does not come from embracing all options, but from eliminating what does not add value and concentrating on what truly makes a difference. Yet, most people live on autopilot, reacting to external demands, seeking approval, solving minor problems, while the real challenges of life remain neglected. Modern times have introduced a subtle yet dangerous adversary: information overload. Never before have there been so many distractions, endless notifications, and invitations to drift away from what truly matters. If maintaining focus was already difficult before, today it has become an almost constant mental battle. Every click, every new message, every update seeks to capture your attention, and if you lack clarity about what truly matters, you will be swept away by the tide of insignificance. What makes this even more alarming is that many only realize the time wasted when it is too late. The years pass, and suddenly the question arises: what have I truly built? What has truly mattered? At that moment, some regret not having taken control of their lives sooner. They realize they spent more time solving others' problems than investing in their own dreams, that they said yes to countless trivial things while neglecting what could have propelled them forward. The Stoic philosophy teaches that we should live each day as if it were our last, not recklessly, but by valuing the present and ensuring that every moment is lived with purpose. After all, the future is uncertain, and wasting the present while waiting for the perfect day is a grave mistake. The challenge is that setting priorities requires effort. It is far easier to be swept away by events than to make deliberate decisions. It is more comfortable to follow the crowd, allowing circumstances to dictate the path, but this is the shortcut to mediocrity. Those who truly reach a high level of life do not let chance decide their course. They have clarity about their goals and eliminate anything that does not contribute to their growth. Defining what truly matters transforms your journey. When you understand what makes sense, choices become natural. You stop accepting everything, avoid pointless arguments, and quit wasting time on things that lead nowhere. You begin to act strategically, build something concrete, and experience real progress. But how do you identify what should be prioritized? The first step is introspection. Ask yourself, what if done consistently would change my life for the better? What would truly drive my progress and bring meaning? Answering this requires honesty, as we often fool ourselves into thinking we are busy with important things, when, in reality, we are just avoiding what truly needs to be addressed. Another crucial aspect is learning to cut excess. If everything is essential, nothing is. If everything seems indispensable, it means you have not yet distinguished the fundamental from the trivial. To lead a meaningful life, you must eliminate the superficial, reduce noise, and distance yourself from distractions. This may mean abandoning certain habits, reducing time spent on activities that do not promote growth, or even stepping away from people who drain your energy without offering anything in return. Many fear setting priorities because it means saying no to many things. But the truth is, by not consciously choosing your priorities, you are already saying no to something, your own fulfillment. The time you spend on irrelevant activities is the same time you could be investing in what truly makes a difference. The Stoics believed that wisdom lies in focusing only on what is within our control, and this includes how we use our time. If each day is a blank page, it is up to you to write your story. If you do not decide what will be recorded, others will do it for you, and in that case, there is a high chance that the narrative of your life will not be the one you truly wish to tell. Life waits for no one. No matter how distracted you are, time keeps moving forward. The only real decision you have is how you will use it. Every day wasted on irrelevant things is one less day to build something meaningful. If there is one lesson Stoicism can teach you that can be applied right now, it is this: choose what has value before the world chooses for you. True freedom arises the moment you decide that you will no longer be manipulated in this way. When you choose that your peace, your choices, and your path will not be dictated by chance. This does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending obstacles do not exist. It means acting with strategy, not impulse. The greatest leaders, philosophers, and sages in history were not those who acted without thought, but those who maintained clarity even in the midst of chaos. They did not allow anger, fear, or disappointment to control them. And you? Are you following your values or merely reacting to what happens around you? Have you been making deliberate choices or just letting the days unfold while dealing with problems as they arise? Transformation begins the moment you realize that not everything requires a response. Not every provocation deserves your attention. Not every adversity should consume your energy. Not every challenge should be seen as a failure. You can choose where to focus your attention, set priorities, and ignore what is irrelevant. Reflect on what truly holds value for you, your goals, and what you aspire to build. Now ask yourself, are your actions aligned with that, or are you merely responding to events by chance? If you spend your days just putting out fires, you may be allowing the world to dictate the course of your life. Stoicism teaches that the only thing we truly control is ourselves. This means you can choose how to react, regardless of what happens around you. You can decide whether to become angry or remain calm, whether to fuel fear or seek solutions, whether to let small setbacks derail you or stay focused, unshaken by the insignificant. Believe me, this decision makes all the difference. Time passes regardless, but those who lead their lives with purpose go further. Those who merely react to events get lost along the way. At some point you must choose. Will you continue being a hostage to circumstances, or will you take control of your destiny? The power has always been and remains in your hands. Your time is far more valuable than you realize. Time is the one asset that can never be regained. Money can be earned again. Opportunities can reappear, but each lost moment is gone forever. Yet many live as if they have unlimited time, wasting hours, days, and years on things that add no value. They do not realize that by wasting time, they are in fact wasting life itself. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." And that is the harsh reality. The problem has never been a lack of time. The issue is how we use it. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but some accomplish great things, while others merely survive, trapped in a cycle of distraction and procrastination. Analyze your routine honestly. Where have you been investing your time? How many hours do you spend on unnecessary worries? How many minutes do you waste scrolling through screens, consuming empty content, watching others live instead of building your own life? How much of your attention is drained by meaningless conversations and distractions that add nothing to your growth? Life is fleeting, and for those who do not know how to make the most of it, it becomes even shorter. Every second wasted is a fragment of your existence that can never be recovered. Without realizing it, you may be trading your time for nothing, and that emptiness, when accumulated, turns into regret. The Stoics understood this reality. To them, every day was a gift, an opportunity for growth, a chance to act with purpose. They did not see time as disposable, but as a sacred resource. There was no room for complaints without action, for procrastination without impact. They knew that a wasted life is not just about lost time, but about untapped potential. Many believe they will always have the right moment to start something meaningful, after a less exhausting day, after inspiration strikes, after the perfect opportunity arises. But that later is an illusion. It never comes, because the only time you truly have to act is now. If you don't take control of your time, someone else will do it for you. The world is filled with distractions eager to capture your attention. Social media, superficial entertainment, responsibilities that aren't yours, and external pressures trying to shape your way of living. If you don't define what is truly essential, you'll be swept away by the current, and before you realize it, you'll have spent your life on everything except what genuinely matters. Have you ever reflected on why so many people reach the end of their lives full of regrets? They don't mourn the money they didn't accumulate or the possessions they never acquired. They regret the time wasted, the opportunities ignored, the experiences postponed, the life they didn't live. And you? Are you living consciously, or are you merely letting the days slip through your fingers? Are you investing your time in building a solid future, or are you just reacting to circumstances? The fundamental difference between those who achieve something remarkable and those who merely survive lies in how they perceive time. Those who understand its value guard it as a treasure. They reject what is unnecessary, eliminate distractions, set clear priorities, and take action without waiting for the perfect moment. You can start this transformation now. Evaluate your routine and remove everything that doesn't contribute to your growth. If something doesn't strengthen, inspire, or propel you forward, it is merely draining your energy, and your life is far too short to be wasted. Distance yourself from those who drain your energy. Not all challenges in your journey come from the outside world. Many stem from the people you interact with daily, and not everyone in your life is there to support, encourage, or inspire you. Some individuals simply deplete your strength, diminish your motivation, and erode your self-confidence. If you're not paying attention, you might be surrounded by people who, instead of propelling you forward, are keeping you stuck. And the most alarming part, this often happens so subtly that you don't even notice. Stoicism teaches us to protect our minds from what we cannot control, but few realize that one of the greatest threats to our peace and growth doesn't come from external obstacles. It comes from negative influences around us. Seneca warned that we must be selective about whom we allow into our lives, as the wrong company can corrupt even the strongest individuals. Think about this. If someone belittles your victories, mocks your dreams, or weakens your self-esteem, why is that person still part of your life? Time spent with those who discourage you is time stolen from your own growth, and that's a cost far too high for something that brings no benefit. Many people cling to toxic relationships, stagnant friendships, or unhelpful environments out of fear of loneliness. But what's worse? Being alone for a while as you strengthen your foundation, or staying surrounded by those who drain your energy and hinder your growth. Solitude can be a period of self-improvement, while the wrong company can be an invisible prison. Not everyone who smiles at you wishes you well. Not everyone who claims to support you truly wants to see you succeed. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's wisdom. You cannot carry everyone's burdens. You shouldn't waste time trying to convince others of your worth. Your progress doesn't require anyone's permission. Those who truly stand by you will remain. Those who try to hold you back have already made their choice. The Stoics were not concerned with being accepted by everyone. They understood that external opinions were beyond their control. What truly mattered was maintaining a steady mind, unwavering principles, and a clear purpose. As an emperor, Marcus Aurelius constantly dealt with envy, manipulation, and betrayal from those around him. Had he paid attention to every criticism or allowed himself to be swayed by negative influences, he would have been lost in chaos. But he remained focused on what truly mattered. And that's exactly what you must do. Observe your surroundings and reflect. Do these people push me forward or hold me back? Do they strengthen me or drain my energy? Do they inspire me or make me doubt myself? If the answers aren't positive, it may be time to step away. This doesn't mean abruptly severing ties or creating unnecessary conflicts. Distancing can be subtle. A shift in priorities, a deeper focus on new connections and environments that foster your growth. What's essential is recognizing that your energy is a valuable asset and must be protected just as fiercely as your time and peace of mind. If someone constantly undermines your confidence, disregards your efforts, or weakens your determination, ask yourself why they are still part of your journey. True growth is impossible while carrying burdens that aren't yours. Choose your company wisely, for those around you shape your life more than you realize. Your thoughts are your weapons. The most significant battle in your life doesn't happen externally. It's not in your job, your relationships, or your daily struggles. It takes place within your own mind. What you think determines how you feel, how you act, and how far you believe you can go. If your mind is filled with doubt, insecurity, and self-sabotage, you will become your own worst enemy before even facing the world. The Stoics understood that the true battlefield of a person is their own mind. Epictetus said, "People are not disturbed by events, but by their interpretations of them." This means that it's not the challenges themselves that define their impact on you, but your perception of them. If your mind is weak, any obstacle will seem insurmountable. If it is strong, nothing will stand in your way. Imagine how a blacksmith shapes a sword. He does not find the blade ready-made. The metal must be heated, hammered, and sharpened until it reaches perfection. Your mind follows the same principle. It must be refined, worked on, and strengthened daily. A worn-out thought does not cut. A dull blade is useless in battle. If you do not improve your way of thinking, your own mind will become a burden instead of a tool of power. What happens to those who train their bodies but neglect their minds? They may become physically strong but remain internally vulnerable, and this fragility manifests in various ways: fear of failure, paralysis in the face of challenges, an incessant need for approval, and constant self-sabotage. Someone may have immense potential, but they will never reach their peak if their own mind holds them back. Your thoughts shape your reality. What you nurture inside your head defines what happens outside it. Those who see themselves as defeated act accordingly. Those who view the world with pessimism live in a darkened reality. But those who train their minds to be strong, resilient, and strategic become unshakable in the face of adversity. The good news is that you can change this. Thoughts are like muscles. If you have cultivated negativity, it will grow stronger. But if you start developing a sharp, focused, and essential-oriented mindset, your mind will transform into a powerful tool to overcome any obstacle. A well-trained mind is not one that never feels fear or doubt, but rather one that knows how to control these emotions and prevent them from taking over. Someone who is mentally strong feels fear, but moves forward anyway. They face challenges, but do not succumb to negativity. They understand that every experience can be turned into learning, and that regardless of circumstances, the only truly controllable thing is how they think about them. The Stoics taught that your thoughts are the only thing no one can take from you. The world can strip you of stability, challenge your beliefs, and place obstacles in your path, but your mind is your ultimate possession. And the question is, are you taking care of it, or are you allowing it to weaken? Many people live on autopilot, absorbing imposed beliefs without questioning. I am not capable. I always fail. This will never work for me. But where did these thoughts come from? Who said they are absolute truths? Most of the time, they are rooted in past experiences, fears, and other people's opinions. A strong mind does not accept any idea without questioning it. It analyzes its beliefs and reflects, does this make sense, or is it just an echo of my insecurity? If you waste energy on what you cannot control, you are wearing down your own weapon. Protect your mind and never again allow it to be your greatest adversary. But when you embrace solitude as a stage of growth, you realize that within that silence lies a strength that few can access. The bravest warriors do not improve in the midst of battle. They strengthen themselves in the shadows, in anonymity, away from the world's gaze. There they refine their skills, expand their minds, and prepare for the exact moment. The same happens to those who know how to turn solitude into an ally. They do not seek constant distractions. They do not fear silence. On the contrary, they mold it into a tool to become more resilient. However, the fear of being alone makes many avoid this path. They surround themselves with noise, empty conversations, and superficial interactions just to escape themselves. They take refuge in social media, drown in shallow entertainment, and accept any company just to avoid facing the discomfort of being alone with their own thoughts. Yet this escape keeps them weak because they never face themselves, never observe their inner world, never strengthen their intellect. Being alone does not mean being lost. On the contrary, it is a chance to find yourself, reflect on your decisions, mistakes, and victories, to deepen your self-knowledge, understand your true desires, and become someone more autonomous and empowered. The challenge is not solitude, it is the way you interpret it. If you see it as punishment, you will spend your life trying to avoid it at all costs. But if you see it as a stage of evolution, you will realize that the most significant moments of your journey may happen when you are alone. The Stoics taught that a man must be emotionally self-sufficient. This does not mean he should live in seclusion, without bonds or connections, but rather that he should not desperately depend on the presence of others to feel that his existence has meaning. True strength comes from within, not from the outside. How many spend their entire lives running from solitude only to realize in the end that they never discovered who they truly are? How many are surrounded by people yet carry a deep emptiness because they never learned to find peace within themselves? Those who know how to use solitude for growth become unbreakable. They do not fear being alone because they understand that it is a training ground for the mind, a space to mature, reinforce self-discipline, and solidify their identity without external influences. The true battle of life is not fought against the world, it happens within. And many of these battles are won when you have the courage to face solitude and turn it into a period of strengthening. Society tries to convince you that being alone is a problem, but now you know that, in reality, it can be your greatest advantage. Respect cannot be bought, demanded, or begged for. It is earned, but not from just anyone. The truth is that seeking recognition from those who do not even value their own lives is pointless. You can offer your best, demonstrate character, be loyal, and act with integrity. But if the other person lives in disregard for themselves, nothing you do will change that. The Stoics understood that what is beyond our control should be left aside, and how others perceive us is not within our power. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest leaders, wrote in his Meditations that we should act with justice, righteousness, and wisdom, regardless of how others treat us. This is because those who do not respect themselves are incapable of offering genuine respect to anyone else. Now think, how many times have you been disappointed while expecting consideration from someone who never even knew what that meant? How many times have you invested time and energy seeking recognition from someone who doesn't even value their own existence? Frustration arises because we believe that by acting with integrity, we will receive the same in return. But this is not an automatic rule. Respect is like a reflection in the mirror. It only manifests for those who know how to see it. It's a common mistake to try to earn the admiration of people who despise what they cannot understand. You can be strong, just, and wise. But if the other person lives in a universe of mediocrity, laziness, and self-pity, they won't see virtues in you. They will only see a threat. When someone without principles encounters a disciplined, ethical, and determined person, they feel exposed. And instead of admiring, they often try to belittle, ridicule, or discredit what they never had the courage to build for themselves. The Stoics teach us to choose our battles wisely. Wasting energy trying to gain recognition from those who value nothing is a futile fight. It is not your mission to teach someone to respect what is right. It is not your obligation to make someone understand the importance of having principles. Your only responsibility is to live according to your values, without seeking validation from those who have never learned to value anything beyond their own weaknesses. If someone does not respect their own journey, ignores their growth, and is unaware of building something of value, how could this person recognize yours? Many seek acceptance in the wrong places, try to prove their worth to those who will never have the discernment to recognize it. Fight for respect where it never existed, and in the end, feel exhausted, frustrated, and questioning their own importance. But the problem was never them. The mistake is expecting maturity from those who have not yet matured, trying to plant wisdom in barren soil, seeking consideration in minds that live in unconsciousness. And what happens when you stop seeking respect from those who do not respect themselves? Something grand. You realize you never needed it to begin with. You understand that true respect is born within. When you honor your own principles, when you act correctly regardless of circumstances, when you live without needing anyone's approval, you become indestructible. The Stoics did not worry about pleasing others. They didn't waste time trying to convince people of their integrity. They simply lived according to what they believed in, and that was enough, because true strength does not need recognition. The big question is, are you living your life trying to be accepted by others, or are you following your own values? Because in the end, the respect that truly matters does not come from outside, but from the consideration you have for yourself. So, do not waste your energy trying to change the perception of those who have not yet learned how to see. What has genuine value does not need justification. Be firm, be integrous, and move forward. True confidence does not arise by chance, nor does it magically appear when you need it. It is built, shaped, and refined in moments when no one is watching, in the silence of preparation, in invisible choices, in daily habits that, though discreet, define your true essence. Many believe that self-confidence is born when they receive recognition, an opportunity, or when they overcome a great obstacle. But that is an illusion. Confidence does not come from external approval. It comes from what you practice when no one is watching. The warrior does not become strong on the battlefield. The speaker does not become eloquent in front of the audience. The wise man does not become wise only at the moment of decision. All of these are reflections of what has already been cultivated before. The Stoics understood that silent preparation was the foundation of a solid life. Marcus Aurelius wrote his thoughts daily, not to impress, but to strengthen his own mind. Epictetus taught that mental training was essential for facing life's challenges with serenity. They knew that true strength does not emerge at the moment of necessity, but is cultivated daily in the continuous and disciplined effort that takes place away from the spotlight. If you want to be resilient when life challenges you, you need to cultivate discipline in moments when no one is watching. What you do behind the scenes determines how you present yourself on the stage of existence. If your days are marked by laziness, procrastination, and a lack of commitment to yourself, do not expect to be ready when the crucial moment arrives. However, if you build solid habits, train your mind to be persistent, and strengthen your discipline until it becomes unshakable, then, when the world tests you, you will already be prepared. Genuine confidence does not arise from empty praise or superficial successes. It is born from the certainty that you have dedicated yourself, that you have done what is necessary, and that you can trust yourself because you have already overcome your weaknesses before others could even point them out. How many times have you felt insecure in the face of a challenge? How many times have you questioned your own abilities? This happens because your mind recognizes when you have not prepared. It knows your history. If you have a habit of procrastinating, avoiding discomfort, and running from responsibilities, your mind will remember that at the decisive moment. But if you have a record of discipline, face challenges without hesitation, and constantly seek growth, your mind will also know that true self-confidence is built through small daily decisions. Every time you choose action over procrastination, discipline over laziness, and challenges over avoidance, you strengthen that confidence. You create a path that tells your mind, I am capable. I have conquered this before. I am ready. The problem is that many people want security without effort. They want to feel strong without having strengthened themselves. They want to be ready without having prepared. But life doesn't work that way. You cannot expect your mind to trust you if you don't give it reasons to. The Stoic philosophers taught that constant preparation is what makes us resilient in the face of adversity. If you practice discipline daily, push your limits, and give your best when no one is watching, you will be ready for any situation. However, if you seek strength only in moments of need, you will realize too late that it is not there. True self-confidence is not arrogance. It is not blindly believing that everything will work out. It is the solid certainty that you have done what is necessary to be prepared. It is the peace of mind that comes from knowing that, regardless of what happens, you have the preparation and the right mindset to face any obstacle. So reflect, what are you doing behind the scenes of your life? How are you shaping your mind, your character, your strength? Motivation can be powerful. It can give you an initial push, ignite a fire within you. But what happens when it fades? What happens when difficulties arise, when enthusiasm runs out and everything feels stagnant? If you don't have something more solid to sustain your actions, you will end up quitting. The Stoics never relied on inspiration to act. They trusted in discipline, commitment, and the development of consistent habits. Epictetus taught that we must practice our virtues daily, not just when it is convenient. Marcus Aurelius, even as an emperor, did not wait to feel motivated to fulfill his duties. He simply did what needed to be done, because he knew that waiting for motivation is a dangerous trap. The great truth is that motivation does not determine success. What truly defines whether you reach your goals or not are the habits you build. What you do every day when no one is watching, what you repeat, not because you are excited, but because you know it is essential. Imagine a warrior training for battle. He cannot rely on motivation to practice his swordplay daily. He cannot wait to feel inspired to strengthen his body and mind. If he depended solely on motivation, he would be unprepared on the day of battle. But he does not train because he is excited. He trains because he knows that without discipline, he will be defeated. Life follows the same logic. If you want to build something lasting, whether a personal goal, a skill, a business, a strong physique, or a resilient mindset, you need to understand that persistence always surpasses motivation. You cannot rely on fleeting emotions to accomplish what needs to be done. You must develop solid habits. Action comes before motivation. But why do so many people fail at this? Because they grew up believing they need to feel like doing something before taking action. We were taught to wait for the right moment, seek inspiration, find the perfect motivation. But this mindset is poison. Action precedes motivation, not the other way around. The more you act, the more motivated you feel. The more you move, the more your mind understands that it matters. If you write every day, even without inspiration, eventually you will become a writer. If you train your body daily, even when tired, inevitably you will become stronger. If you work on your project consistently, even without seeing immediate progress, results will appear over time. Repetition shapes reality. The mistake many make is waiting for the perfect mental state to take action. But the Stoics taught that self-control and discipline are superior to any emotion. If you want to be strong, you cannot be a hostage to your feelings. You must act regardless of them. Motivation is unstable, like a fragile flame in the wind. But a well-built habit is like a fire that keeps burning day after day. Independent of external circumstances, it remains lit, even when the winds blow against you. The power of habits. Now, reflect. Have you been living based on motivation or on the habits you cultivate? Are you waiting to feel like acting, or are you training your mind to be resilient, independent of fleeting emotions? Because in the end, those who act out of habit always win. While others wait for the ideal moment, you will be years ahead because you have understood a truth that few accept. Motivation may fail, but habit never does. The world does not stop. Challenges will not wait for you to recover. Life will not ask if you are ready. But if you strengthen yourself today, if you commit to your growth, your discipline, and your evolution, what once seemed impossible will become just another step in your journey. Stoicism is not just a concept, it is a way of life. And the question is, are you ready to live it? If you made it this far, comment "I am ready," so I know you followed until the end. Like this post to help spread this message to more people who need to hear it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep receiving inspiring content. And if this reflection made sense to you, share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Let's spread this mindset of strength, discipline, and growth together. See you in the next video.